In fact, the only 2 full games that Collier has played this season where she's shot over to 700 career threes this month. Here's Gabby Williams dialing up a 3, and that is good. They're put on the gas this stretch of the season after tonight's 6 games remaining, but trying to make sure everyone's healthy at the same time, too. Here's an opportunity to feast on the boards in this game as Courtney Williams finding her rhythm, range, and Courtney Williams, the long rebound, that's going to ignite her up the floor, the mid-range.
Rim protection there from Minnesota. They have been good inside. Seattle struggling.
Bridget Carlton in that first quarter, their 10th win down by double figures. Here's McBride. She's got Brittany Sykes, one of the fastest with the ball in her hand. He's going to Williams, patient through that pick and roll. He's going to go to the other side of the floor. McBride looking 3 for 3. Gave her 11 points in the second quarter, looking as confident as possible.
They're knocking down a big 3.
Natisha Heidemann carves her way through the rim, and how frequently that's happened. Here's Carrington in the passing lane looking for a pick 6. Hazards of the job, I guess. Here's Erica Wheeler pulling up for 3. She's on that turnover. Courtney Williams in rhythm, dropping it down low. Jessica Shepard puts it in for 2. But Minnesota again attacking the glass. Here's Courtney Williams sticking with it for another 2.
Everyone's just waiting for that to happen during a game, but she's just
Minnesota leads 34-16, and here Malonga barrels her way to the rim.
struggling to get rolling.
Normally 3rd in paint points per game is the down from long range, and Carlton gets it over to Williams. McBride in rhythm, in transition. She's got it!
5:37 left in this first half. Can they keep up the intensity on the defensive end?
Sykes looking for a Glumike. Minnesota being incredibly disruptive, looking inside to Malonga with an awkward finish. Today we're featuring some new graphics using optical player tracking technology. Here is Brittany Sykes slicing her way to the rim, but hesitates, then attacks right at Collier. The reverse is not going to fall. Working the glasses, Malonga, and she is making, thought about a 3 from St. Paul right there, trying to get herself free once more. 3 seconds to shoot. Here's Williams. She's got it this time. The Seattle Storm, one of the most pick-and-roll heavy teams in the WNBA, really not finding any kind of positive action with that part of their game. Going deep in the shot clock here again. Here is Williams, a good look at a 3, and she drains it. Going back to the basket right at Malonga. Has that shot affected as she hits the deck? No whistle there against Collier. Here's Sykes trying to get her defender moving every which direction and leaving it off for the trailer. It's something that makes this team so incredibly fun to watch, how they share the basketball first in assists per game. Here's Gabby Williams, though, knocking that pass down. Sending her team on the fast break. It's also deflected, but she's going to able to net that jumper for this. Just stuck around double digits for the vast majority of this game so far. Heidemann uses that Collier screen. Patient. Look at that pass, wrapping it around, and Collier with the finish. She says, I remember in 2001, the Cleveland Rockers ran away with the league, and then her Charlotte team ended up beating that team in the semifinals as Natisha Collier slices her way to the rim. To start this second half, and Minnesota with its first possession here in the third quarter. Williams thought about it. It's going to leave it for the trailer and Alana Smith, and she's got it from 3.
Alana Smith was quiet in that first half. Those are her first points of the game.
49-33, Minnesota with the lead, and Skylar Diggins is going to strike right back. 8 seconds to shoot for Sykes, who slices her way through the lane. Here is Diggins launching from 3 and hitting from 3. Those 2 shots, Leah, didn't touch anything on their way down from the left.
Skylar Diggins has came in really focused on both sides of the floor with the turnover and hitting 3s.
Diggins with 10 points, her 3rd triple in this game. Here's Collier, so beautiful along the baseline. Rebound corralled by Collier. Another defensive stop by the Minnesota Lynx as Williams will stop on a dime, can't knock it down. Collier with the offensive putback with the contact. Led by as many as 21 points and have led from the get-go. Diggins gets herself into the paint, almost gets herself in trouble. Magdegor is held up, and that's going to be a 3-point play opportunity. It's a chase down block against Natisha Collier. Here's Diggins losing the basketball. Collier sprints her way down and gets the ball right back.
Really unfortunate for Seattle right there as Minnesota
darting her way to the rim. Count it for Atlanta Smith.
McBagor is making things difficult inside right now for Minnesota.
Top shot blocking teams in the WNBA. Here's Erica Wheeler launching and draining a three. That is the 8th triple. Here's Collier dropping it down low into Shepard. She's surrounded by trees. Carlton, no good from three. Shepard working the offensive glass. We'll try it one more time. This time for Collier. She drops it in for 2.
So many options that this Lynx team has.
Especially in transition. These are the top 2 teams in fast break points. And that three is good by Ezzy McBagor. The crowd getting into it here in the third quarter, sensing a threat by the Seattle Storm. Williams not able to corral it. Diggins is going to march her way to the rim. And now the Seattle Storm, who are 4 of 7 from 3 in this quarter, back to work offensively. Malonga at 6'6". Malonga stops on a dime, the mid-range off target, but McBagor keeping it alive on this possession. Sykes will swing. Wheeler for 3. She's got it. In this quarter has been McBride trying to snake along the baseline. No whistle there as she was caught up in the contact. Skylar Diggins is going to attack the rim on the other side. So there's a lot off her shoulders as she gets the ball from Collier. Tight roping along the baseline. Collier, quick extra pass. McBride attacks the closeout. Has that possibly tipped, but sticks with it for 2.
A lot of energy right now.
50% shooting for Kayla McBride. A dart underneath and the finish by Malonga. She has been a huge factor in. Williams finds McBride, trying to bully her way into the paint. Will spin, flip, and hits.
McBride is just hyped out there, and she wanted that shot. She wanted to attack, and she wanted to go up against the bigs.
Erica Wheeler launches a 3, and she's got it. Seattle has scored on 8 consecutive possessions, and Erica Wheeler. Fans here at Target Center particularly aggrieved with some whistles in this quarter specifically. Here is Diggins getting herself free, and she splashes it home.
In their face, excessive stare downs, all those things she felt was happening.
I think she ticked all of those boxes as Kayla McBride ignites this crowd with a 3 to start the 4th. Multiple Lynx players will snare that rebound. They are dominating the glass, but will turn it right back over. Wheeler finds Diggins streaking to the rim for 2.
Just incredible hustle right there from the Seattle team. Just great communication, and how they tend to get back into games is getting in the passing lanes and turning folks over.
Harrington will rise, fire, and hits. Diggins with 19 points today. Malonga spotting up for 3. She shoots 20% from long range this season.
Malonga's doing right now.
26 bench points and another opportunity for points off of turnovers for the Seattle Storm, where they like to feast all season long. Diggins trying to get the step against Heidemann, powers it up and in for 2.
This Seattle team got back into this game and now has a 7-point lead.
After scoring 12 points in the first quarter, 34 in the third, as Carrington pirouettes inside and knocks it down. Her mid-range has been helpful for Minnesota. The largest lead of the game at 7, now within 5. Nneka Ogwumike straight on from 3, and she cans it. Courtney Williams is just going to extend to the rim, unencumbered for 2.
Gotta make it easy. Just find the open lanes and
takes a foot on the gas right here, once led by 21 points. Seeing that evaporate here in the second half is as Smith will dunk to the rim for 2, taking the feed from Courtney Williams.
Yes, some beautiful pick and roll action. A way to make that possession into points, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, they're all important from this time out. Trailing by 5, 4:30 to go is Gabby Williams. My goodness. On the other side, still a really respectable percentage, but Seattle has been unstoppable. Here's McBagor barreling her way to the rim for 2. 4th in defensive rating as Ogwumike splits defenders. Collier makes the stop, but the extra effort is there and good. They're going to play keep away on this possession with 7 seconds to go. Here is Williams knocking it down. The cherry
50% on the road.
They started this game 5 for 14 as Lupisa Collier nets it from along the baseline in the second half.
Team riled, the fans riled. Technical on Coach Reeve, everything. She did everything she had to do to get her team a win here at Target Center.
And Cheryl Reeve and Noelle Quinn have a moment at half court. A former player for the Minnesota Lynx, of course, in Noelle Quinn out of UCLA.